What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Aviation. Hope you're having a fantastic day today, and today we have a very exciting video for you all. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Gemini 200 1:200 scale United Airlines Boeing 737-700 in the Evo Blue livery. I hope all of you are excited for today's video, as this is a really cool aircraft and definitely really excited to get to feature it here today. So without any further delay, let's just go ahead and get started. So here's the boxes you can see right here. Got this as a surprise Christmas gift from my mom. That would have been 4 Christmases ago, 2021, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, I really appreciate her doing that. This is a great aircraft and definitely want to get an Airbus to complement it. So yeah, Gemini 200 United, here's CGI Boeing 737-700. Obsessed with the United mainline, so definitely about time that I get some more of them, but this one's really cool. It is awesome to see it at TUL when it does come in. It's not quite as common as the Airbuses, the 318 particularly. That's been mainly what we've been getting and will likely continue to get most of, but we do get these pretty often as well, so no complaints. In fact, in April here, we're gonna have them on Saturday, so that's pretty awesome. I have no idea when this is coming out. And then probably down the road as well, just depends on how the schedule works out and what ends up happening. But yeah, this aircraft is pretty unique from the rest of the United Airlines mainline aircraft in the fact that it is the only one that hasn't received any retrofitting yet. So that's pretty interesting for the United Next cabin. But anyway, here's the actual model itself. It's a pretty good mold for the most part. Definitely glad to get to feature it here today. They don't have many of these. They only have 40, so that could coincide with why they may not end up retrofitting them. But anyway, it's still a great looking aircraft though, and I think they should buy the Southwest ones once they try to retire those. I think that would be pretty clever and definitely a good opportunity after Southwest's interesting at best decisions for what's coming up. So anyway, we won't waste any further time on that analysis. That's for another video. What we will do today is take a look at this Gemini 200, which once again, the mold's pretty solid. So let's take a look at its components. Here's the cockpit windows. Printing's pretty good here, so no complaints on that, along with the nose cone, which is pretty sharp for the most part. Definitely gets a solid 8 or so. Pitot tubes, and you got the actual panel right here as well. And of course, with United's livery, their main mission is connecting people united the world, which they're definitely doing that. So good job there by United. Here's the actual nose landing gear, nose landing gear door. Nose landing gear door is certainly way too big, one of the deficiencies on this mold. It is what it is. There's only so much we can do about it, so it's just one of those problems. We just gotta live with it. But anyway, we do have that going along with the panel detail here as well, so that's looking pretty strong. And you got the cheat line, which goes up and then right into the ring root, so that's looking pretty sharp as well. You get the Star Alliance logo right here, nice and printed. You get the L1 door, also looking quite nice here. United's livery, so it's certainly interesting, their reception from it. I was just thinking about this the other day when the Korean Air livery came out. I was like, man, everybody really didn't like the United livery, but it grew on everybody so fast. Korean's probably going to be a very similar concept. But United obviously being here with the Euro white, I really like it. It's one of my favorite liveries out there, right there with Americans, so quite nice. Southwest too. So all those liveries tonight. It's going to be time for Delta to do a refresh here pretty soon, I think. It is going to be time, so it's going to be quite a model aircraft debut to get all the new liveries, but I'm sure it's going to happen at some point. So, but it'll be nice there at some point. It'll be nice to get some new rotation in there. JetBlue's also done a good job for us with their new livery. But anyway, you can see the wing root there and the various pieces of that. You get the light on there as well, so that's pretty nice. You got the beautiful CFM56 engines. I believe these are the Dash 5s, might be the 7s. I think the 5s might be the Airbuses, so this is probably the 7s. But anyway, pretty sharp there. You got the engine cowling and the actual engine itself, and then you got the exhaust back there too, so that's pretty nice. And let's take a look at those fan blades a little bit. There they are. Looking very nice. The nose profile is pretty good. It's not the sharpest nose in the 1-200 game. There's no doubt about that, but it's also not the worst, so we'll take it where we can get it, so no problems with that. But yeah, the main landing gear also pretty nice. They're a little bulky, but once again, these are just normal mold situations at this point. There's only so many times we can go over it before running our heads into the ground, so you know we won't get too fired up about it, but it's just one of those deals, so we'll absolutely take it. But anyway, there's the wing right there. That's looking pretty strong as well. Good detail on the flap slats and speed brakes. Here's a top profile of that, so no major problems with that. Certainly looking pretty nice, and overall a good job, so happy to see that. You got the speed brake detail right there as well. Here's the scimitar winglet. That certainly looks very nice right there. They did a good job on that, besides it being too large. That's the only main problem. No bad wing flex on this particular aircraft, which is nice. The 1-400s are pretty notorious for having pretty rough wing flex, but it's got better between them, and while this aircraft's already several years old, it certainly coincides with those vantage points, so that is absolutely fantastic to get to see right there. And you got the antennas right there as well, so happy to see those too. And overall, those are very sharp. Got the Wi-Fi box, and then you got the rest of the cheat line, which comes up and over, and then over the APU. The registration of this particular aircraft is November 21723. Very nice. United, once again, they have 40 of these, and they mainly use them to small hub airports. from the hubs. You will see a little bit of hub-to-hub for these, but it's not very common at all. And there are a couple airports you will not find these at all. I believe San Francisco and Denver both round out that list. LAX is also on it too. Not many at Dulles either, but Chicago, Houston, Newark, all those you'll absolutely see these, but definitely Chicago and Houston is where these are primarily found, especially Chicago. You'll definitely be seeing them there. If you're at O'Hare, it's still crazy to think, you know, I'm just looking at this with how many 800s and 900s they have. So United had 737-700s, you know, it always tricked my brain up when they had the Continental livery on it and that sort of deal and all that, just being so used to the extended 800 or extended 737 variants. But now, you know, with Evo, I'm just looking at the skin, I'm like, United has 700s, like, and they're not that common either. So, but obviously they are around and you will see them. I would like to see United continue to add into that. They did a great job getting more A319s from some of the Chinese carriers, and then 737s, they also got several of those, and that's really helped their small hub operations and open up the door for some of their other aircraft, the bigger main lines. Here's the tail. It looks very nice. You can see that Evo blue color. Really good job on that palette for the tail on the top there. It's really nice. Let me get you a side profile. You can see that gloss right there. It looks really nice. And yeah, they did a really good job compiling this livery and putting it together. Certainly very nice, very impressive, and certainly exactly what you would want to see. But overall, very good looking and definitely a very nice aircraft right there. So very happy with how that turned out and looks very nice transpired onto the model. And I think this is the only 737-700 that's been done in the 1-200 scale in the Evo Blue. I don't think in-flight's done this particular one. I know in-flight's done Maxes and 800s and all those. So if you're looking for other 737s, they got those. I'd love to get the Max 8 or 9 at some point from them, along with their 319 Evo. It's a great model. That is a dream model to get. Enough dilly-dally on that, though. Here's the right side of the aircraft. You have the baggage door, though. And you can see the stubby antenna much better from this side. It's right above the engine, which is really cool. So that looks real nice. Let me go ahead and move this aircraft up a little bit so you can see the rest of it. All that looks very nice. They did a good job putting it all together. And yeah, definitely a very good job. Very good looking aircraft, and the fleet code and all that really came out well. So all that looks very nice. So overall, really good job. Top of the aircraft looks very nice. You can see all the details and so forth. So no doubt, no shortage of opportunity there. So that looks very nice, and love the emergency exit panel and so forth. And the bottom looks very nice too. You get the various antennas, the stand hole, and all of those various features. So all of it looks really good, and definitely very happy to see it. So yeah, this is a really good aircraft. I'd highly recommend it if you're in the market for a 1-200. This one's pretty readily available. You can still find it pretty easily. So if you're interested, this is a really good one to take advantage of. But like I said, in-flight's made several, and Gemini's also made the Max 8 a couple times, and a couple of other 1-200 aircraft that are certainly very noteworthy and, you know, desirable. So definitely check those out if you're interested. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do you love and love you do. My name's CM Aviation. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all soon, as CM Aviation is signing off.